Hello, friends, and greetings for the day. Welcome back to another live session of our channel where we connect together to listen to your queries and respond to them. We are looking forward again to a wonderful session where we are looking forward to listen to your queries, listen to your questions regarding ISTQB certifications, or be it about software testing, be it about the tools. And we will be looking forward to understand how best we can respond to you, assist you with your learning and understanding to make sure that you have a wonderful experience while learning and exploring the context on concepts of software testing. So, yes, greetings for the day and welcome to our live session. We are here again as usual. Every Saturday we connect between 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. and look forward to assist you as much as possible. And as a part of this initiative, we do not expect anyone to be fulfilling any kind of criteria to go ahead and ask your question. This is open to all. Anyone who is interested, has any questions, can come here and look forward to get their queries resolved as far as I'm aware of it. It's not that I'm super genius guy who can respond to everything what comes to you, but yes, we try to respond to people's question as much as possible with our knowledge and understanding. So we are here looking forward to your queries, your concerns once again. And meanwhile, we are just going good with our software testing bootcamp tutorials. We are remaining with few more chapters and expected that we will be finishing in another few weeks of time. And yeah, that is another thing which we would like to make sure that once we are done with this, we'll look forward to another set of tutorials. So we'll be asking for your poll, your suggestions to uh, look forward to another one, that what we should look forward to as the next set of tutorials. But no worries, it's always there. We are always here, and we look forward to assist you as much as possible. So, kind of is just getting started with the day. Today, also, in fact, we are doing our public session on ISTQB Foundation. So, we have our session ongoing right now, and we'll be having it for 2 days. So, I published online, and a lot of people have looked forward to participate in that. So, we are having our session ongoing right now, and we look forward to such sessions happening soon in future too. Okay, so I think I'm pretty much done with my updates. Most of you would have been through our portal for sure, which we launched recently to give you the understanding of interacting with the sample papers. And you can look forward to this tutorial now as well, where the sample exam portal. So this is our portal where we have started right now recently to start publishing some of the mock papers. Slowly, we'll be adding more and more mock papers. So do expect this to grow over time, and it's not going to just put some sample papers just because we have to put. We'll be making sure that we are giving you the best experience of practicing and learning things at any point of time. And more importantly, we want to give you the best experience of solving a sample paper along with the justification, along with the right answers, the scores, making it like a real examination. You would get to know how much you have succeeded with, how much marks you got, what areas you need improvement with. So there are a lot of things which we'll be catering through this portal. So look forward to a great interactive platform to help you prepare for your foundation level or advanced level certifications. All right, I think we are here looking forward to more questions coming up. And should you have anything, just feel free. Do not hesitate. Just let me know if you have any questions. Okay, think we are here already. Dinesh Tiwari says, thank you so much, sir. Vishy is saying thanks. You're welcome. Go ahead, team. Feel free. If you would like to share something, share. If you have any questions, go ahead, because we want to make sure that this live session should be uh, kind of more memorable, more interactive, where people find it interesting. Let's not make it only limited to asking questions. So feel free if you have anything to share, anything to discuss, go ahead and utilize this time, because it's just not limited to asking questions. If you have something good to share, feel free to go ahead and share that. So we are waiting for the questions for the day to come up. And yeah, I think I pretty much had those updates from my side. Of course, I'll be looking forward to share if there's anything else which I can do more about uh, sharing on the testing part. Just feel free. Okay, Dinesh says WebRTC based test related. Anything relevant to that, please? Sure. I think right now I do not have anything specific, Dinesh. I may have to explore something. So let me just explore this. Drop me an offline comment so that I can follow up on this request because I'm not so familiar with the WebRTC applications and would look forward to have more exploration on top of it to help you with that for sure. Yes, team, go ahead. Is there anything you would like to share? Anything would you like to ask? Feel free to drop them here on the chat window. I'm more than happy to listen to your updates or also respond to your queries, whatsoever you may have. And we are looking forward to assist you as much as possible so that you can look forward. Also, meanwhile, when we get some questions to answer, we have also decided to start a new portal, or like not exactly a new portal. It is already on our channel where we have technical talks. I think we did one interview with Dorothy Graham, and we would like to add more there in our channel to make sure that we give you a lot of quality contents, a lot of knowledge, step by step with different things. So I've started thought of like having technical discussions on certain topics in more detailed way, apart from what we generally do on our day-to-day basis at your project or generally what you tend to understand from internet. So I'll be sharing my experience in a technical manner, technical discussion, and trying to come up with some good sessions. Initially, I may have one session a week. Slowly, if we have more and more content to discuss, I would look forward to have them published there again, and we'll look forward to have more and more people being invited and discussed about several things. So feel free and let us know your suggestions on this. We would be more interested to give you as much knowledge transfer as possible so that you have a better confidence of how to test a system, how to make yourself as a better tester, how to be more confident about the world of testing. So certainly there are a lot of things which you will be getting slowly on the platform, this particular channel. So don't lose the grip on this channel because it's not limited to certification any longer. We have started talking about fundamentals of testing. We have initiated with a trial session with Dorothy Graham. And similarly, we are going to have a lot of other technical talks happening on testing. So making it more interactive, more regular content for everyone, even after certification. So we would look forward to have all of you, go through those content. All right. Meanwhile, we got the very first question of the day. Kirti says, "Hi Neeraj, I am an embedded manual testing. Please let me know how can I move in automation. I'm learning Python, but please guide me. Is there any tool or certificate which can help me?" See, again, embedded testings will have their specific set of tools, Kirti. There are no standard generic tools like Selenium or Catalan or Cucumber which you can use there. You may have to see what kind of domain you are in, what kind of embedded product you are testing. And related to that, there'll be simulators, there'll be emulators, and a lot of other tools which would be assisting you, right? Because particularly there are some standard tools available from a domain point of view. And embedded testing is very wide. So particularly in your domain, there would be people, who will be working already in those domain in your organization as well. You can check with them, and alternatively, you can reach out on LinkedIn. connect with similar people who are into the same platform, who would guide you that what kind of tools are in the market. I'm kind of like having great knowledge on testing, but I may not have understanding of every single tool in the market today. And perspective to domain, there are certainly different tools. For example, I do train people on automotive, but I don't have all the tools being into my portfolio. I don't do all the testing tools of automotive industry. Similarly, there are several other industries where tools are there and we may not have all the knowledge. So all I can do is maybe I can figure out something more and help you to understand that. But point is, right now I don't have any suggestions for you that what kind of automation tools your embedded industry maybe it will be helpful, right? So try to look forward to someone who is working in the similar industry, not embedded. What embedded product you're making, okay? Because embedded is a very wide domain, and there is a very wide set of tools which you can get in that. So which embedded domain you are working for, like what is your product, and specific to that you will have your tools. So just try to confine your wide expectation to a limited part of it first, and then look forward to have the tools to add more value to your portfolio. Okay. Meanwhile, I'll also look forward to it and suggest you if you have any, anything to take it up. Yasim, go ahead if you got more questions. Just feel free. There's no criteria here that your question should be related to certifications or related to only advanced level things. You can go ahead and ask me even simple questions if you have anything related to testing. We'll be very happy to respond to them. And again, though this channel is specially talking about certifications, we are not limited to certifications. We look forward to uh, add more and more value from entire testing world, be it about automation, be it about concepts, be it about career path of being in testing. So you are free to raise any of your concerns. We are completely here to respond to your queries and assist you. Okay, so Tran says hi. Hi, Tran. Welcome back. Okay, go ahead, team. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them. This live session is only to listen to your queries. Otherwise, I don't have any agenda. We don't share updates. We don't come here for raising funds. We just come here to listen to you. And because our channel gives you a lot of video tutorials on different certifications, but people certainly have a lot of questions to ask. And this is where I come live at least weekly once so that I can respond to your queries and help you understand things better, right? So this is where I'm looking forward to assist you and respond to your queries whatsoever you may have.
Hi guys, welcome back.
Okay, I think we don't have much questions coming up for today, but yeah, we'll just trigger the timeout if there are no questions because we don't want to create an idle session here being live. But yeah, just want to make sure that if people have anything, we look forward to respond to them. All right, Tran comes in here, says, now I'm learning TTA about 2 days, but I still don't get clearly about MCDC. Could you please give me an example for how to use MCDC in the exam? So modified condition decision coverage is all about the simple concept, Tran. If you say I have a condition like A and B or C, okay, A and B or C. So A and B becomes must for me, and or C is a choice for me, right? So it simply means that these two conditions should be met, and third option is optional. For example, I would say that if I have to take a very layman level example, what can I do here? I would say signal is red, right? Signal is red, and you have a white line before zebra crossing to stay back behind that when it is red, right? So if it is red and your wheel is behind the line, then you are no fine. Okay, so outcome is no fine. So I have to add one more condition there. Condition would be like third condition, which is a choice. So point here is assume that you add something there as or. So MCDC is a concept where you keep one parameter fixed. For example, if you have three condition, what are the total combination? 2 raised to 3. You will have 8 combination. True, 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 false, true, false, true, true, false, false, and false, 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 right? Similarly, if you go on, you'll have 8 combination. So point is in that 8 combination, if you keep one fixed and change the other, if the output changes, okay, that's one of my combination. So if I say true, true, output is this, true, false, output changes, then these are two test cases for me, which I must check. So keeping one fixed, for example, A, keep A fixed as true, true, and change the value of B, then it will have a output difference. Then that test case is what you need to pick up. Why? Because we want to minimize the test cases by having exact output being changing with the fixed conditions, right? Similarly, hold B fixed like true, 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 then false, true changes the output. So, okay, true, false, sorry, true, true, false, true. So B is fixed, A changes, then output changes, then that's your second set of test cases. Third, similarly, where you change C, the output changes. No, in this case, output will not change. The reason is it is or, it is a choice. So output may not change. So in that case, you have got 4 tests. Now see if there were any repetition, then you just club them together and take those test cases as your output. If there was any common, if there was no common, then you'll have 4 tests, and that is your minimum set of test cases required to test the scenario, right? So that is how MCDC works. Modified condition decision coverage. Look at the name. If I modify the condition, whether decision changes or not. Okay. So say for example, I'm having a signal as red, line as white. What is the output? No fine. Okay, no fine. Signal as red. If your wheel is beyond the white line, take a snapshot. Take snapshot. That means he should have a fine, right? Similarly, your wheel is on behind the line. Signal is red, right? Then it is the same thing. No fine. But your signal is green and your wheel is outside. No fine again, right? But your signal is green behind the line. No fine. So you just have to consider that sort of thing and pick up the unique test cases to find out minimum number of test cases based on that technique. Now look at the video once again. You will pretty much get it what I'm talking about. Okay, that will help you to understand with typical example right there in the session. Let me know if you still need any further information. Swati says, sir, I have certain confusion in test tool in ISTQB foundation level. What important tool should I focus more? Uh, there's nothing called as important. All the list of tools which we have, they can ask you question from anywhere. Okay, they have not declared anything that hey, we generally ask questions from here. So in certification, if you're asking me, chapter 6, the test tools, all the tools which are mentioned based on the category are important to be remembered because they can ask you any question. For example, they may ask you that which one of the following is a tool which would fall under the category of execution and logging, or which one of the tool is following tools is a tool which would be used specifically by developer, because you see some of the tools are marked with D, developer specific. Similarly, they may give you other way around that which one of these category a tool is expected to fall in. That tool name is so and so, like test management tool, test coverage tool, test data preparation tool. So you have to remember them based on their category, and every tool is important. You don't have to learn the market tool, just the name and the category. Okay, just the name and the category what is given in the syllabus. You don't have to deep dive like what tools I should remember or learn. No, They don't want you to learn any tool, no practical. You don't need any practical exposure to those tools. You just need to remember the name and the category of the tool, and that is enough to answer a question in the examination. Does that answer your question, Swati? If you have anything else, just let me know. Mimi says, what is the difference between automation testing and manual testing? Oh, okay, sure. Okay, first of all, when you talk about manual testing, okay, a lot of people say it's not manual. You don't do some kind of hard work. It's more of like interactive testing. Okay, let's rename it. Instead of saying manual testing, let's say interactive testing, where if you have to test something, for example, you're working on Facebook. Assume that you are testing Facebook, and you directly interact with Facebook and perform necessary activities. Okay, perform necessary activities like a user and test the system. Now that is what you call it as interactive testing, or whatsoever you call it as manual testing. Now in this context, you are directly interacting with the product. There is no intermediate, there is no any kind of interface between that. You as a user directly working or interacting with the application, right? On the other hand, when you have an intermediate in between, for example, you want to work on the application, but instead of you directly interacting with the product, you ask a tool to do that job for you. Just as simple as having a washing machine in your home. What does a washing machine do? They wash your clothes and dry your clothes. Second thing is, you can also wash your clothes by your hand yourself, and that is what you call it as manual washing. You are doing it yourself. But instead of doing that, you put your clothes in the washing machine, program it, put the detergent, supply the water, and turn it on. Then the machine does the washing for you and give you the clothes out, right? That's called as automation. So but you have to instruct the tool, right? You have to instruct the machine how long, what type of load it has, what kind of washing you want to do, all that, duration, everything you can define there. Similarly, we have to define the tool that, hey, these are the instructions for you. Go to this tool, go to this particular field, enter this value. Go to this tool, sorry, this application, go to this field, enter this value, click on this button, select this particular value, check this box, select this radio button. So we provide instruction through a script, okay, to an automation tool, which would do the work for us in turn, right? So that's the difference between manual or interactive testing and automation testing. I hope that gives you clarity, what you are looking for. If there's anything, just let me know. Okay. Swati says, sir, from where I can practice sample questions from ISTQB? Oh, that's a wonderful question, what I can answer today. Please scroll up on the chat, Swati. And I have put a link on my chat, the very first chat, which I have put for today's live session. You have a hyperlink there. Please go there and you'll find sample questions to practice, which are as per the syllabus. Yes, team, I think today I'm relaxing a lot because for the past, lot of weeks, I think I did not take breath also for 60 minutes. That we got so many questions. But today I think I'm having a lot of relaxation. Go ahead. If you got questions, do not feel, anything about it. Just do not hesitate. Just drop it. Just drop it. We are here to listen to you. Dinesh says, saying this is okay, used to perform functional test manually. Yep, you can say that. But again, see, to a certain extent, a lot of leadership in testing think that manual is more of like showcasing a laboristic work. Okay, laboristic. That means even a masonry works manual, right? So it looks a little kind of. I'm not using that word, but kind of idiotic to say that. Why are you reflecting yourself as a hardcore labor? Why don't you reflect yourself as a professional? So use some professional word. So we are looking forward to coin this term. Okay. Instead of calling it as manual testing, which looks very layman level, we are calling it as interactive testing. Okay, where you are interacting with the system directly, which is exactly the same thing. And we just want to make sure that people have such respect for the testing profile too, and you yourself have respect for yourself. No matter you're doing whatsoever you call it as manual testing, right? So you should feel energetic about it. Oh, I'm doing interactive testing. So you should feel energetic in the morning when you say that, what are you doing here? correct? So this is where we are trying to bring up this, and this only happens by practicing it. The more we start using the terminology, people will get used to it. The less we use the terminology, people will not use it. Okay. Solid says yes, got it. Kevin says thank you so much. I passed my exam because of you. Congratulations, Kevin. First of all, thank you for letting us know by dropping in here. And not just because of me, I would say the 50% effort even you have put there. So I'm happy to take the 50% credit of your success. But I'm really happy to hear that, first of all, you have succeeded in your examination and you have took some time out to join here and let us know. So I'm really happy for that. And thank you so much for your respect, what you have given me right now. But yes, we always appreciate our participants' effort also, because this kind of certifications are not possible until unless you also put your effort. I alone cannot make a difference without you, right? So I give you that equal congratulations. That thank you for your effort, and we wish you all the very best in all your future endeavors. Do let us know if there's anything we can do for you, right? Next one is coming from Nikita. Nikita says, "What is defect containment?" Hmm. That's a advanced level word. Let me explain you. I think I'm answering this question first time in my live session. Defect containment is basically a terminology used to determine that a defect was identified in the same phase where it was introduced. Now, what are my phases of testing? Oh, sorry, phases of development lifecycle: requirement gathering, designing, implementation, testing, release. Now, I was doing, for an example, requirement gathering. Okay, business analyst have written some requirement. I, as a tester, hopped into that particular zone, like requirement gathering phase of the project, and I asked business analyst, "Hey, do you have the first draft available? Can I go ahead and start reviewing it just at the draft level?" The BA said, "Yeah, it is in a stable state. If you want, you can start reviewing it." Now, I found some questions like unclear requirements, incomplete requirements, missing details, etc. I highlighted this to the business analyst, and business analyst said, "Oh, yeah, correct. I should have got this information for you, right? I missed it." They accepted the defect. Now, what is this? This is called as defect, or no, it's not defect containment actually. The term name is phase containment. Okay, phase containment. That means I could identify the defect in the phase where it was introduced, where it was introduced. But if the same thing, okay, if the same thing was found at design phase, okay, during design review we figured out that there was a missing requirement, or during development phase we found out that there is a requirement misunderstanding, then that is called as phase escape. Okay, because phase of introduction and phase of detection is different, right? So phase containment is the phase, is a concept, or it's a determination of that you could find the defect right there where it was introduced. It was just one example using requirement. Similarly, if you have designs, design defects are introduced. If you could find the defects in the design phase itself, then it is phase containment. If later, phase escape, right? So, Nikita, I think that answers your question. Is there anything? Just let me know. Kevin says, "Do you know any well-known QA boot camps in the US region?" I'm so sorry. I may not be able to answer that question because I pretty much don't know anything. You may have to find out with your local connects for sure. That's the only option. I know you know that. It's not that I'm telling you. You know pretty much that yes, you can always reach out to local friends and check with them. But sorry, I don't have any information and I just don't want to fake out things. So I may not be able to help you with that suggestion. Okay, Talangi Mang. How do you pronounce your name? I remember that you make some sound when you pronounce that name, Mangop Ba. All right. Does the test manager do test selection? Um, yes, it's the test manager who does the tool selection. Only test manager, nobody else. So test manager is someone who is responsible for shortlisting. But before shortlisting, he has several considerations to make before selecting a tool from the market. all the parameters, all the tool considerations will be taken into account. That do we really need a tool if the process is mature? At the same time, can we have improvements in our process to adapt the tool? Right? Is there really a need of the tool? What is the scope of the vendor? How strong is the vendor? And all that. So yes, a test manager, being the experienced person in your organization, will be someone who is responsible to uh, select the tool. Right, Pluggy? Go ahead. If you have anything else, just let me know. And team, don't forget to drop a thumbs up. We always thrive for it. Kevin says, what is the difference between Selenium and Cyprus? Both are same tool. It's just like both are for the same purpose. It's just that the way it works is slightly different. So it's more about the functionalities what we have. Sorry, not the functionality, the features what we have. So here it will be more of like Selenium is more open source, and even this is not that like it gives you no facilities at all. So it's more like Cyprus is limited to some particular languages only. And when you talk about Selenium has a wide range of language. Like you can use Java, you can use Python, you can use C Sharp, you can use Perl. So a lot of other things which you can make use of. And again, talking about the various frameworks, having the freedom which you can make, Cypress gives you more benefits in certain context. Like you can have a single framework for everything. Like you talk about component, API, performance, etc. But Selenium does not do that. Video recording is possible in Cypress. So it's more of like Cypress is a kind of having more interactive features for a tester compared to the Selenium, because Selenium is more of like completely independent and open tool, open source tool, and may not give you all that features what you want. So you may look forward to that. And languages are also some of the challenges. So though both have some kind of balances, right? Cypress is only one language, Selenium is multiple language. Browsers supported are limited in Cypress. Like Chrome is common, Edge, Firefox, Electron. Opera is not supported by Cypress, so that those are things. And again, frameworks. Selenium supports so many frameworks. It can go with JUnit, you can go with Cucumber, but Cypress only supports Mocha. So there are a lot of things you can explore more in detail. uh, it's more about like what you would like to have from the tool, right? Because there are different tools which supports with different things, different purposes. So you should be looking forward to what is your expectation from the tool and whether that does that or not, right? So I think that answers your question there. But yeah, you can explore more on the internet to find exact pin to pin details of key differences between the same. Okay, so yeah, Mangoba. I wish I could hear that people pronouncing your name. I wanted to hear it again. It's been a long time I heard that name, Mangoba. Anyways, thank you so much. And you say your Agile Tester Foundation is helping a lot. It's all my pleasure that I could help you there. And feel free to reach out anytime if you think there's anything I can do for you. Dinesh says, sir, I was through an article that Agile DAT, DAT, what is that? Okay, is so called as agile is facing issues in real software development scenarios, and somewhere we are moving back to waterfall. Your views on that, why and how? I think the main part you have skipped, Dinesh. You should tell me more about why somebody felt that. What are the challenges you must have read about it in that article? That what challenges Agile is facing. Again, I don't have any comments until unless I read the article, or maybe you can just share that article on any of the comments. But point is, there are challenges, and I would say if you ask me, Waterfall had more challenges than Agile. I think not a lot of people understand this, but Agile is not actually a methodology. Okay, Agile is not a methodology at all. It is collection of drawbacks of waterfall model and turned around. In waterfall model, you used to do retrospective once at the end of the project. Here you do end of the every sprint. There, no customer involvement. Here you involve your customer. There, waterfall, it used to happen for 9 months, 10 months, and then you release. Here, every week you tell the customer what's happening. right? There you used to deal with whole product at a time. Here you are just breaking the product into small pieces and then working at a time, right? For waterfall, everyone knew that our challenge is we have to refer 5 documents to understand a requirement: FRS, BRS, SRS, non functional expectation from that feature, security expectation from that feature, 5 different documents, right? In Agile, we just clubbed it together and called it as a story, a user story, right? In a traditional a waterfall methodology, we always had a confusion that what customer wants along with requirement on what grounds will he accept it. In Agile, we created acceptance criteria. So trust me or not, what I personally believe that Agile is actually nothing. It was not something which was new. It was just turning around all the drawback of waterfall, which people already had it as an idea, or already had it as an idea that in waterfall, I think we have these challenges. We should do something like this. We should do something like this. And there were organizations who were trying to adopt it, that okay, why don't we club 5 documents and put it together about each functionality. Like if I'm talking about login, I know what is functional expectation, I know what is the performance expectation, I know what is security expectation from login, and all that at one place. And that is what is user story. So I don't think Agile should have any problem. Okay, and going back to waterfall does not make sense. But subjected you have read the article, please do let me know more about it. I can then understand on what grounds people are telling it. Sometimes the article looks catchy. Okay, you should have some meaning also. Don't go by them. Kirti says, hello sir, what is the difference between BVA and EP? That's a very interesting question. First of all, that these are techniques. Okay, these are techniques where we use them to derive test cases. I what I understand right now from your question, Kirti, that you have already been through the technique. What I understand, you know both of them independently, but you wanted to understand what's the difference. In EP, we take only one test from each partition. In BVA, we strictly test on the boundaries. Why? Because generally the defect lies on the boundaries. Then why EP? If BBA is better, then why EP? For your kind information, we don't use EP for number based scenarios. I repeat, we don't use it for number based scenarios. EP is for textual based scenarios. What is textual based scenario? For example, the scenario says I can book a flight only on weekday and I have to test this scenario. Then how many test cases will I create? 7. No. I'll create 2. Why? Because I'll create 2 partitions, one partition for Monday to Friday and second partition for Saturday and Sunday. So I'll take one test from each partition, any one day from the weekday, any one day from the weekend, and that is done. Same way, a leave can be approved by manager and above. So I'll create 2 partitions, one for managers and above, and second manage below managers. So I'll take any one profile from manager and above and any one profile below manager, and 2 tests will be enough. So this is the key difference between EP and BVA. EP was used for textual things like categorizer, and BVA was used for number system. So strictly on the boundaries, we check like 17, 18, 30, 31. If 4 values are tested, then nothing needs to be tested. Okay. I hope that was the same thing what you were expecting from your question. If not, just let me know. Dinesh says, does Selenium support Vue.js? No, it does not support that. SM, good morning, sir. Is criteria, exit criteria the same as retrospective? If no, then what's the difference? Okay, exit criteria is a gate check that can you stop something. Okay, for example, if you're doing a process and you want to know when to stop this process or I should continue, right? So testing is a continuous activity. If I don't stop you, you can go on testing forever. Okay, this is endless journey. Testing a product is endless journey. There's no end to perception. You don't have any limit to your perception. There's no end to your perception, and you can go on testing a product how much ever you wanted. So we create an exit criteria as a gate check, which determines that okay, as per the project expectation, as per the project timeline, as per the contractual agreements, these are the things if you have achieved, you can stop testing. So we always strive to achieve only exit criteria. As far as we meet them, we can stop testing. Whereas if you're talking about retrospective, which happens after exiting, that means when we have stopped testing, we sit down and discuss that what we could have done better, why we went wrong, what are our mistakes, how we can prevent it in future. So retro is more about gathering lessons learned from your own experience to improvise yourself, okay, or improvise the process, improvise the team activities, all that. So exit criteria and retrospective are different. Exit criteria to stop a process. Once you stop, you can discuss and settle down with all that discussion, right? Thank you. You also had another question which says difference between verification and validation. Is validation UAT? No, 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 no. Verification and validation is difference between the work product preparation and dynamic execution. Static testing is verification. Dynamic testing is validation. In verification, you just make sure what you are doing is right or not. In validation, you make sure that what you have done is as per the expectation or not. For example, have we built the product right is verification, and have we built the right product is validation. Okay, so verification is making sure what you are doing is correct or not. Validation is this what your customer wanted? For an example, quickly, customer told me that I want a program to multiply two number. You created a program to add two numbers. Okay, add two numbers. You tested it, it was working fine. Verification passed, validation failed. Okay, verification passed, validation failed because what you written is working fine, but this is not what customer wanted. So validation is about requirements, verification is about what you're doing is correct or not. Is it working or not, first of all? So first we do verification, then we do validation. Right, SM? Okay, what else? Trances. So that means if we modify condition and decision is changed to, so we should select that one. Yes, right, right, Tran. This is what is expected. Dinesh says, please also explain similarity between BVA and EP as well. Yeah, I think there is similarity is only one thing that you create ranges. You distribute a particular or break your particular scenario into equivalence classes. Classes are common between EP and BVA. The values would be different, and selection of test data is also different. EP takes one from each partition. BVA works strictly on the boundary, so you can take two within each partition. But common thing is similarity is EP and BVA both uses mathematical ranges or equivalence classes. Okay, I think I have responded to all the questions right here. Yes, team, go ahead. If you got any more questions, feel free to let me know. I'm here to respond to you. Don't forget to drop a thumbs up, team, if you're happy with what we are doing right now. And we look forward to spreading this live session to many, many, many people across the world, because I know there are hundreds of people looking for getting their doubts clarified, but they don't know that we are doing this live session here where they can come and ask their questions. So do spread the word. I would like you to let people know that if they have questions, they can come here and ask the questions. Hirut says, please, can you explain about use case testing? Thanks. Use case testing is, in simple term, all about using use cases to derive test cases. Okay, you can always derive test cases from requirements, is what we understand or what we know. It is pretty important to understand that there are many other ways to derive your test cases too. Now, use cases are real world interaction between user and the system. Real world interaction between user and the system. Now, use cases are always confined and to the point that how exactly a user will use the system in reality. Like, user will do this, system will respond that. User will do this, system will do that in a sequential manner: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. Now, given that you have this information, isn't that it will be easy for you to derive some quick test cases easily? Or you don't have to come up with a number of possibilities, thinking weird, thinking wide about that particular scenario. So Use cases will help you drill down your limited number of test cases, what would be enough to test that scenario. And that approach of deriving minimum number of test cases with help of use cases is what you call it as use case testing. I hope that answers your question. If you need any further help, do let me know. COTS, please explain broadly. Broadly, okay. COTS stands for commercial off the shelf. Broadly. Okay, no, I understand you wanted to know the meaning. I'm just kidding here. All right, COTS is commercial off the shelf, and these products are basically not usable standalone, is what we say. Standalone in the sense like I cannot promote my own product directly. What are examples of that? All the payment gateways. Payment gateways. PayU Money, Paytm, gateway, okay, not the app. Visa, Master, MX, Diners. So, what exactly these payment gateways do? Nothing. You don't see them, you don't use them directly. Where do you find them? When you're shopping on Amazon, when you're shopping on Make My Trip, you're shopping anywhere, right? Whatever you're doing. The payment time, these gateways appear, right? So, what is this product? I cannot sell it directly. People don't use them directly. These are just commercial off the shelf. They are commercial things. They will charge people, but point is off the shelf. That means they don't appear directly as a product. Now, Amazon wants people to pay through Master cards. Amazon want people to go through Visa cards and make the payment. Amazon allows people to pay through Amex cards. But do you know that Amazon cannot accept payment directly? They have to ask for the gateway from these guys that, hey, Master, give you a gateway to me, give your APIs to me. Same way, to Master, Amex, Visa, and all. Now, as soon as you check out and proceed to payment, you actually land up on an application which is from these bank or these banking gateways, right? That intermittent page, what you get where you enter the amount, or sorry, enter the OTP and acknowledge that yes, I would like to confirm this payment. That page or that small piece of work is what you call it as COTS, commercial off the shelf, where you cannot use Amex Gateway as a direct product. You don't do anything there. It only appears when you have to make a payment. That's it. So COTS, commercial off the shelf, is those sort of products which cannot be used as a direct product, but they are embedded with many applications to be used as an intermediate. Okay, I hope that answers your question broadly. SM says, please, what's the real use of TestNG? It's a framework to run your test cases. It's just like JUnit. Okay, if you want to run or you want to do testing in Eclipse using Java, then Java, it is to write programs where you create programs. But can you do testing using same Eclipse and Java? Yes, you need to let him know that I'm doing testing. So Eclipse will ask you, hey, can you tell me the jar files? How do I understand your test commands? How do I understand how it works? So these become my framework, which I associate with my Eclipse to tell him that now my commands will be from a testing perspective. So WebDriver.driver and all that, like driver.something. So find element, XPath, everything gets understandable. So the test ng becomes my framework to enable testing in that same way. So we just have, you can use JUnit for unit frameworks or test ng to do rest all testing. So it's just a framework for the Selenium. Hirut says, thank you very much. So it's all my pleasure, Hirut. Let me know if you have anything else. SM says, please, what's the real use? Okay, sorry, I read that. Yamini says, after ISTQB Foundation, what exam can I do? Also, could you please tell whether ISTQB Agile Tester Foundation exam is same as your playlist named as Agile Tester Extension? Yes, that's correct. It's just that names are different, but it's exactly the same thing. Okay, and what you can do, I think you have opted for the right one. Agile is next thing what you can certainly look forward to, because given that you are a tester, you might be very good interested in working on Agile methodology for sure. And having given that you have some good understanding of being a tester in Agile methodology, organizations will look forward to you. Other than that, you can also look forward to some specialist certification, like if you are working particularly in any particular domain, like mobile tester, automation tester, security tester, performance tester, you know, game tester, gambling tester. So you can even look forward to them if, in case you are working in any specific tester role. If not, Agile is something really great. You can go ahead with that. Okay, Dinesh says, hats off, sir, for the course explanation in such a nice way. Thank you so much. That's my job. I'm a instructor by choice, not by force. Thank you for your wonderful comment, Dinesh. Makes a lot of sense to me. I really feel when I hear such comments, it's not just for feeling happiness. It's more about like you understand that your explanation are making sense to people. The way you are explaining, people are understanding it, which is more important for me. Because if I understand, I explain something, and people say, "No, can you come again?" That clearly tells me that okay, no, I did not explain it well. So when people share such feedback, it certainly makes us understand that yeah, the way you're trying to explain is open to anyone. Anybody can understand it. So thank you so much for your feedback. Arun says, any certification related to API testing? API testing, I think Nations United Nations started something. No, it's not United Nations. It's brightest API. Let me check with them. Just a moment. Yeah, correct. They have it. Okay, I'll just drop you a link. If you are interested, you can quickly hop in there and see what exactly this certification is all about. Okay, try out this. This is done by ITB, Indian Testing Board, but not from ISTQB. Don't get me wrong, okay? This certification is not from ISTQB, okay? Though it is conducted by Indian Testing Board, but it is not from ISTQB. You will not get ISTQB logo on top of it. Here it says, is all test level used to test both functional or non-functional testing? Yes, but there's a small discussion there. I know where it is coming from. Chapter 2, segment 2.2, test levels, right? The question is, can I start non-functional testing right from functional levels? Answer is yes. Can I execute performance testing in functional levels like unit integration? Answer is no, right? You cannot do dynamic testing till system is ready. System ready means system testing is performed. Until our system testing passes, you cannot do any non-functional testing. Execution. Okay? You cannot execute any non-functional level, be it performance, security, reliability, portability, adaptability, whatnot. Okay, you cannot run them. But can I start with it? Yes, why not? For an example, I have to do performance testing after system testing. But for me, each program matters today. So while unit testing is going on, or while development is going on, performance team will join the developers and ask them for the code to do a code review. Why? Because today, if this guy in the sense developer, has not created a variable and directly used it. He has created an infinite loop. He has created a dead code. All these will cause memory leak in a simple program, small bits and bytes. And that similar pattern being followed throughout the application will create a performance degradation. So a performance team member can join at the unit testing level, can join at the integration level, and review the interfaces, review the code to check if the code being written right now is appropriate for the expected performance standards or not. Because sometimes they don't even clear the variable at the end of the program. So they will come and ask them to do it. Because if you don't clear the variable, memory remains allocated. And if memories are not released after action has been completed, then it creates memory leak. And memory leak results into performance degradation. Same way with the null pointer. Same way with the null pointer. There are a lot of examples like that. So performance team, non-functional team like security team, performance team, portability team, all that can come here and start right from functional testing levels. That can I review your code? Can I review your interfaces? Can I review your interaction? Are you connecting API? What kind of call are you making? What kind of methods are you using? So everything will be reviewed here. But we don't execute. We can get started. And in that context, my functional and non-functional can be done at LE level. I hope that answers your question, Ruth. Do let me know if you still have any questions. Yamini says, thank you so much. You're welcome. Hiro says, I'm preparing to take ISTQB Foundation level exam online next week, and your courses are really understandable. I really appreciate. Thank you so much for that. It gives me a lot of inspiration, keep me fueled up to keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Arun says, thank you so much. You're welcome too. Hirut says again, thank you. It's clear now. Yes, always good to ask a question. Yes, team, go ahead. If you have any questions, do not hesitate. We are here. We got another 5 minutes to go from our live session, and I would be more than happy to respond as much as possible. But before you drop, don't forget to drop a thumbs up. We want YouTube to know that there's a live session happening and spread this word to all your colleagues, all your friends who might be interested to get their doubts clarified too. Okay, go ahead and feel free to ask any of your questions whatsoever you may think that you are confused with. I'm here to respond. I'm here to assist, and I'm certainly making sure that we try to answer as many questions as possible. Okay, another one coming from Deepak. Deepak says, which tool is best for performance testing? Uh, if you ask me, best in the sense, it's Load Runner, the most expensive tool in the market today. Okay, Load Runner is the best tool in the market because it is a commercial tool and it offers you all the protocols, no matter what your application is built on, you can test anything. And it has a wonderful interaction and a lot of great features to make your performance testing an incredible one, right? So I have personally worked with few of the automation tools, and it certainly gives me a clear understanding that there is nothing better than Load Runner, but it is expensive for sure. Okay, it's a commercial tool and it's expensive among others because of their features. So Load Runner is something, and I do have tutorials of Load Runner. If you would like to explore Deepak, you can try this on my channel called as Testing in Nutshell. Go to the Load Runner playlist, and you may at least get started with some understanding if you'd like to. Okay, and I think I'm not sure if only it's my channel which offers such tutorials. I'm not sure if there anyone else is doing the Load Runner tutorials. Dinesh says difference between Kanban and Scrum. Kanban does not have sprints. Scrum has sprints. Okay. Kanban works on the principle of work in progress. It is continuous. Okay. You keep picking items from the board, keep working, but has a limit for the work in progress. So we call it as WIP limit. WIP, WIP limit. That means at any point of time, the team can only take a limited set of activity in progress. Okay. So though they have everything pending in to do, it does not mean that they can bring everything in progress at a time. So you will have a work in progress limit at the same. Any other difference? Yeah, the board concept came from Kanban itself. Scrum did not have any board. The backlog or the whiteboarding, like having columns and status update, came from Kanban itself. Scrum did not have any board. They only had sprint. So they had the backlogs concept. Sprint had the backlog concept and Kanban had the board concept. Now both of them are using each other. If you go to Jira, you'll find backlog in Kanban also and board in Scrum also. So these are the key differences between them. Otherwise, epic, story, work items were all the same. No major differences. But board came from Kanban, backlog came from Scrum. Scrum works on sprint, tight iterations, time-bound iterations, and Kanban does not have iterations. It just continuously keep working but has work in progress limit. These are the two major differences between Kanban and Scrum. Deepak says, thank you so much, sir, for explanation. You're always welcome, Deepak. Oh, we hit the hour, right? So I think we are pretty much covered. Okay, let me just take up that before we end up. SM says, does performance testing require coding? Automation. Any automation tool requires coding knowledge. Okay, and performance is also automation. So you would need knowledge of Java and sorry, not Java, C. All right, team. I think we have already hit the hour. Thank you so much for participating in here and making this live session wonderful. And we are really happy to respond to all of your queries. And good that you have asked so many questions because this session is incomplete without your participation. It does not really make sense me being idle here until unless you ask questions. This session is not complete. It's just unsuccessful, right? So I would like to thank each and every individual of you for being a participant here. And I would also like to thank all our listeners because not everyone will be here to ask questions. A lot of people join this session only to listen to them. Hirat, my next session will be exactly the same time next Saturday, 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time. 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Every Saturday, I join here to answer your questions. Please set a reminder for that. It will be much convenient to not miss it. Right. So thank you, team, and thank you very much for being a participant here. Thank you for making this live session once again, successful one. And we look forward to have more and more periodic sessions to make sure that we attend your queries more and more. And please do look forward to suggest if you have any feedbacks, any inputs to make the channel more better. And we are looking forward to adopt them and apply them right from pretty soon, right from, maybe a week or 2 times. So just feel free and go ahead and let us know if you have any suggestions to make the channel better, because this channel is for you from my side, right? So that's all from this particular live session, team. Should you have anything else, feel free to comment below. I'm always there to address your queries and answer them well. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, keep understanding the context. Thanks for being a part of this live session, team, and happy learning. Stay safe, take care. I'll see you next week. Ta-ta.